You know, here at Sava Press, we actually like writers. I'm just sitting here thinking about some of my experiences back when I was writing a lot of short stories and submitting and going through the websites. And, you know, there was a lot of things that I dealt with that I'm sure all writers deal with, especially when you're in that short story market. And it just seems like a lot of those publishers don't like writers. And they're real jerks, you might say. Tell you a quick story. Won't take very long. This is my favorite example. So I got a short story accepted uh, to a website, and this particular website they publish one story a month, and they pay. I got paid for my story. I was stoked, cloud nine. The story was one of my personal favorites that I've written. It was called Delirium Tremens, by the way. So I get the email from the editor. It's great. I email him back. And, I mentioned the money is that I was thrilled, to be getting a $25 check for my story. And so the first thing was he emailed me back and he thought that I was like sweating him for the money or something. He goes, "Oh, well, if you need it sooner, I can get it to you sooner." Because my story had been picked early in the year and it was going to run in December at the very end of the year. So I emailed him back. I said, "Not worried about $25." So anyway, months went by. I was busy doing other stuff. And we get up around November. And I know that my story is going to be coming up next. So I go on the site, and the stories that have been published for October and November, the editor had, put a little blurb down there with the story on the sites. And basically, he had insulted both of those authors and saying that they hadn't submitted their stories properly to their little, submission guidelines. And I just felt that was an unnecessary thing to do. And I couldn't see how those authors weren't a little angry. So I remember thinking to myself, if this guy insults me when he posts my story, there's going to be a problem, right? Now, luckily, he didn't. But uh, my story goes up and everything, it's fine. And then 2 weeks later, and I still hadn't received my check. So, of course, then I'm in that uncomfortable situation. What do I do, right? I mean, obviously, I got to contact him, but I don't want to seem like, hey, where's my money? So I email the guy as nicely as I can, and then he's, oh, I thought the money was, on its way. I must have forgot. So, the whole experience, what started off awesome because I thought I was getting paid for my work, turned out to be kind of a bummer, right? So I know in all anything you do in life, I was going to say all walks of life, but in anything you do, any industry, any job, you're going to meet assholes. It's just going to happen. But here at Sava Press, we like writers. We like writing. So we're not going to do stuff like that. I once got a rejection email on Christmas Eve after waiting 5 months to hear back from this particular author for a short story submission. We're not going to do stuff like that. That's why we're not going to be sending out rejection emails anyway. We're just going to announce the winners on our site. Uh, and we want to actually establish a working relationship with the authors, a little back and forth, maybe a little working on the story, little edits and say, hey, what about this for the story? Maybe develop it a little bit along with them, things like that. So I just want to give my assurances to all the writers out there as we're going along here, and hopefully we're going to be building up a following. Sava Press, we care about writers, and all we care about is good writing. Have a nice day.